With cold temperatures and snow fast approaching, local anti-poverty organizations are scrambling to find safe places for the homeless to stay this winter.
There's fear that an overcrowded shelter system will be stretched even further, given that the number of people living outdoors in tents has tripled compared to this time last year. Vasilios Bellos is following the story and joins us live in studio with the details. Vasilios.
Thanks, Ryan. One organization that supports the homeless estimates there are still close to 60 people living outdoors. And there's a concern a lack of affordable housing means serious steps need to be taken if permanent solutions will ever be found. This summer saw 3 times as many people living outdoors in Thunder Bay compared to last year.
Nobody expected that we would go up to 160 in just 1 year.
And those trends continue as we're now less than 1 month away from winter. Elevate NWO, an organization that supports the homeless with supplies and connects them to housing, estimates there's currently 60 people living outdoors, compared to about 20 last November. Executive Director Holly Govan says this is even more of a concern heading into winter with an overcrowded shelter system.
So this year the numbers are considerably higher. The shelters are quite full. There's a little bit more room left, but there's also a lot of barriers that exist within the shelter system, just because of the way that it needs to operate, the way things are funded, and so that makes things very, very challenging for people to get the space or the accommodations that they require.
Elevate estimates around a dozen people stayed outside throughout the winter last year, and there is concern that number could grow considering the current trends. Govan stresses that while the winter elements are the biggest concern, people trying to stay warm can also lead to danger, citing a fire near an encampment by Marina Park this past weekend.
Luckily, nobody was harmed but very much could have been. Last year, we had a fellow who brought his propane into his tent, and luckily recognized the symptoms of poisoning and got out and was able to keep himself safe.
Govan concludes by stressing the lack of affordable housing in the city is a significant contributor to the rise of people living outdoors. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.